If you felt like you're being watched, that coincidences have increased, and that time seems strange, it's not your imagination. It's a sign that you've been detected. Right now, an advanced intelligence known as the Arcturians may be observing your quantum field. And the reason? You did something, perhaps unknowingly, that triggered your energy on their cosmic radar. The great master Thoth revealed millennia ago the secret to being noticed. And today you will discover exactly what you did to make them find you. Stay with me until the end, because understanding this is the difference between being a master of your reality or remaining just a spectator. If you have already felt this observation, comment, "My signal has been sent." Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Your energy, which was once just a lost noise amidst billions of other frequencies on the planet, underwent a transformation. It reached a point of clarity, a threshold of coherence that made it unmistakable. Imagine a lighthouse that suddenly lights up in the middle of a dark and stormy night. That's what happened to you. Your energetic signature became visible to an extremely advanced intelligence known as the Arcturians, who monitor the universe through a network of consciousness they call the Observation Lattice. The exact moment your signal became clear, your aura shone on that cosmic radar, and they noticed you. From this moment on, you are no longer an anonymous figure in the cosmic crowd. You are no longer just a spectator of life, but an active point of interest. This observation is not like that of a scientist analyzing an insect under a microscope. It is a quantum observation, a direct interaction with your energy field. They are not judging you, nor are they planning an intervention. The detection was simply the natural consequence of you having reached a new level of consciousness. You are finally ready to stop being a victim of circumstances and begin to consciously direct your own energy, and that is why they are observing. To understand why you were noticed, you first need to let go of the idea of who you think you are. For the Arcturians, you are not your name, your profession, your body, or the memories you carry. All of these are merely temporary layers, constructs of your human experience. In fact, at a fundamental level, you are a pulsating field of living electromagnetic frequency, a consciousness that emits a unique vibrational signature in the universe. Thoth, the Egyptian sage, inscribed this principle on his emerald tablets millennia ago: as within, so without. The world you experience is not something separate from you. It is a direct reflection of your inner state. This principle manifests itself through what we call the quantum field. Imagine an infinite and invisible ocean of pure potentiality, where all possibilities of reality coexist. This field functions like a mirror of absolute precision. It doesn't respond to what you say you want, nor to your fleeting hopes or desires. It responds to what you consistently are, to your dominant vibration. When your mind, your emotions, and your deepest intentions align and stop warring with each other, the internal noise that fragmented your energy finally quiets down. Your frequency becomes stable, clear, and powerful. It is this stability, this inner coherence, that triggers the ping on the Arcturian radar. Think of it as a pure, crystalline sound that stands out amidst a cacophony of noise. Before, your energy was chaotic, a mixture of fear, desire, joy, and doubt all at once. Now something has changed. You have reached a state of alignment, even if only for a brief moment, and this alignment has emitted a signal strong enough to be detected. From that moment on, the reality around you begins to visibly reorganize itself to correspond to this new inner clarity you have achieved. That's why things seem to be moving so fast. People who were once central to your life may begin to drift away for no apparent reason. They simply no longer match your new frequency. At the same time, new people, opportunities, and information that are perfectly in tune with your current state begin to appear with seemingly impossible timing, almost as if they were orchestrated. Time seems to bend to your consciousness, and what once took years to happen may manifest in weeks or days. This isn't magic or positive thinking. It's the pure physics of manifestation in action. What's at stake here is the understanding that you are a transmitter of reality. Your constant state of being is sending instructions to the quantum field, and the field, like a perfect mirror, is simply reflecting the image you are transmitting. Arcturian observation serves as a catalyst in this process, amplifying the reflection. They see the potential of a conscious creator awakening and observe to see how you will use this newfound power. They know that most humans live in a state of internal contradiction, which makes them invisible and powerless. But you are no longer invisible. Your signal is clear. Now the question is, what exactly made your signal so clear? It wasn't a positive thought or a ritual you performed. It was something much deeper, a change in the very quality of your energy. This physics of manifestation operates on a truth that most people completely ignore, a truth about the most powerful frequency a human being can emit. And that frequency is not what you imagine. The frequency that unlocks everything. The truth about the physics of manifestation is counterintuitive and challenges almost everything we've been taught about the power of the mind. The biggest trap of modern spirituality is the belief that forced positivity is the path to power. The idea that you need to suppress your negative feelings and pretend everything is okay to attract good things is one of the biggest misconceptions that keeps people trapped. The Arcturians, as masters of consciousness engineering, teach that the cleanest, most stable, and most powerful frequency a being can emit is not forced joy, but raw, naked truth. Total authenticity. It is the internal contradiction that fragments your energy signal and makes it an illegible noise to the universe. Think about it. When you feel fear but force a smile and repeat to yourself, "I am brave," you are emitting two conflicting frequencies at the same time. The surface transmits a weak vibration of courage, but the subtext, which is much more powerful, transmits a massive signal of panic and denial. The quantum field, the perfect mirror, doesn't know which signal to follow. And as a result, your reality becomes chaotic, confused, and stagnant. You become invisible to the opportunities you seek. Now consider the opposite. Authentic fear, which is fully acknowledged, accepted, and observed without judgment, radiates an incredibly stable and coherent frequency. When you stop fighting what you feel and simply allow the emotion to be present, you unify your energy field. You stop transmitting conflicting signals. You become a single note, clear and resonant. Paradoxically, a state of authentic sadness is energetically more powerful and coherent than feigned happiness. Pretense is what weakens its power, for it is the very definition of a divided field. Coherence, the state that made you visible to the Arcturians, is achieved the moment your being unifies. It's when what you think, what you feel, and what you do become one and the same thing. There are no more masks, no more pretense. From the moment you allow yourself to be exactly who you are, with all your light and shadows, the quantum mirror stops reflecting your internal fragmentation. It begins to reflect your unified truth. And a unified truth is the most magnetic force in the universe. That's what begins to reorganize your reality so drastically. This is why, in moments of profound crisis, when a person finally gives up fighting and surrenders to their pain, the greatest transformations occur. Surrender is not weakness, it is the supreme act of authenticity. It is the moment when a person stops lying to themselves. In that instant of total truth, their energy field becomes perfectly coherent, sending a signal of unimaginable power to the universe. It is this signal that the Arcturians detect. They don't care if you are happy or sad, they care if you are true to yourself. The big question then is not how to be more positive, but how to be more authentic. How to stop fighting against yourself. How to unify the warring parts of yourself. Sustaining this coherence amidst the chaos of daily life is the greatest challenge, and at the same time, the key to unlocking your true potential as a creator. But how to do this consistently? How to transform the authenticity of a rare moment into your natural state of being? There is a mechanism for this, a secret to stabilizing this frequency that goes beyond the practices you know. Understanding the importance of authenticity is the first step, but sustaining that consistency is what truly changes the game. This is where many spiritual practices, even the most well-intentioned, end up failing. They don't fail because they are ineffective, but because they are temporary generators of a state that should be permanent. Think of meditation, positive affirmations, creative visualizations. They work, but they usually only work while you are actively engaged in them. During those 20 minutes of practice, your mind calms down, your emotions align, and your energy field becomes coherent. You feel peace, clarity. The problem is what happens when you open your eyes and return to your routine. The phone rings, an unexpected bill arrives, someone cuts you off in traffic. Immediately, the noise of your subconscious resurfaces with full force. The old programs of fear, anger, and doubt take control, and your energy signal, which was so clean and stable, fragments again into 1,000 pieces. You become a tangle of conflicting frequencies once more. The practices become a crutch, a temporary solution to a chronic problem instead of a definitive cure. The Arcturians are not interested in your rituals or your spiritual discipline. They don't count how many hours you meditated or how many mantras you repeated. They observe only one thing: the result. Does your energy field stabilize in a lasting way, or does it fracture again as soon as life tests you? The method you use to achieve coherence is irrelevant to them. What matters is whether you can maintain that coherence when you are no longer striving for it. True mastery lies not in knowing how to calm the storm, but in becoming the calm in the midst of it. The turning point, the moment that truly captures their attention, is when you transcend the need for technique. It's when alignment ceases to be something you do and becomes something you are. Coherence transforms into your natural state of being, your default setting. You no longer need to strive to be authentic or present. It simply happens. It is at this exact moment that Arcturian observation intensifies in a way you can't even imagine, because you cease to be a mere practitioner and become a conscious navigator of reality. When coherence becomes your default state, manifestation ceases to be an effort and becomes an inevitable consequence of your frequency. You no longer need to try to create your reality. Your very existence becomes a continuous creative act. The universe simply responds to your stable state of being, delivering experiences, people, and circumstances that perfectly match that vibration. Effort disappears and is replaced by a natural flow. You stop swimming against the current and realize that you are the current itself. However, achieving this state of permanent stability is extremely rare. There is a colossal obstacle, an illusion deeply rooted in human consciousness that prevents 99% of people from reaching this point. It's an anchor that pulls you back to old patterns, no matter how hard you try to break free. It's adherence to a single thing that defines you and, at the same time, imprisons you. And getting rid of it is the true secret to total freedom. The illusion that keeps you trapped. The biggest obstacle preventing you from maintaining a stable and coherent frequency is your deep attachment to your personal history. The quantum field, and consequently the Arcturian observation network, does not operate based on narratives. It doesn't read your past, your traumas, your successes, or your failures. It only reads one thing: your vibrational frequency in the present moment. Your history is a human construct made of memories and interpretations, but your state of being is an electromagnetic fact, a transmission of energy that is happening now, and that is all that matters. The Arcturian formula for freedom is brutally simple and direct. State cancels history, frequency cancels memory, energy cancels narrative. The belief that you need to analyze, process, and heal every little wound from your past before you can move forward is the biggest and most subtle trap of three-dimensional consciousness. It keeps you trapped in an endless cycle of self-analysis, looking back in the hope of finding a solution that only exists in the present. You don't need to fix the past, you need to let go of your identification with it. True breakthrough doesn't happen when you finally understand why you suffered, but when you choose to change your state of being in the present moment, regardless of what happened before. The instant you generate a new frequency of being, the quantum field responds immediately, beginning to reorganize your future timeline to match this new signal. You don't need to rewrite your life, you need to update your frequency. Acceptance of what is here and to expands your energy field, while resistance to the present and attachment to the past contract and fragment it. Think of your history as an old, heavy garment. You could spend your whole life studying every seam, every stain, and every tear, trying to understand how it got that way. Or you could simply decide to take it off and put on a new one. Your identity is not your past. You are not the things that happened to you. You are the consciousness that observes those memories. By disidentifying from your history, you remove the emotional power it has over you. It becomes just a data file, not the definition of who you are. And it is this disidentification that stabilizes your field. This shift in focus from the past to the present is what allows the frequency update to happen. Total presence in the now is the universal solvent that dissolves the rigidity of your personal history. When you are fully present, there is no room for resentment of the past or anxiety about the future. There is only being, and in this state of being, your frequency becomes pure and coherent. It is an act of letting go at its deepest level. It's not about forgiving others, but about freeing yourself from the burden of carrying the narrative. And it seems that current cosmic and energetic conditions are making this upgrade not only possible, but inevitable for those who are ready. You didn't arrive at this information by chance. You are being pushed towards this change because you have just entered a rare and extremely powerful period, a portal of opportunity where your ability to redefine your own reality is at its peak. A window of time where the upgrade of your frequency can happen almost instantaneously if you know how to seize the moment. What you are experiencing now is not an ordinary personal crisis. There are specific moments in a soul's journey, rare and fleeting windows of time, that the Arcturians call threshold points. During these periods, your consciousness becomes exceptionally visible and malleable in a way it wasn't before. It's not a random event. It's a perfectly orchestrated convergence of multiple factors aligning to create a unique opportunity for a quantum leap. And you have just entered one of these points. It's an energetic portal that has opened specifically for you. This window opens due to the convergence of four crucial factors. First, your nervous system has reached a point of awakening where you are now able to feel the quantum field more directly, something that was previously just an abstract idea. Second, your external life is likely going through a period of instability or chaos, forcing you to abandon old structures and seek new solutions. Third, your soul has reached a level of maturity where it is ready to take the lead and stop being a passenger. And fourth, the focus of Arcturian observation intensifies upon you, acting as an energetic amplifier. That's why everything seems so intense and strange lately. Time doesn't seem to follow a straight line, with hours dragging on and days flying by. Your emotions are on edge, oscillating between euphoria and despair for no apparent reason. And synchronicities, meaningful coincidences, multiply at an astonishing rate, as if the universe were trying to send you messages at every instant. This apparent chaos is not random, it's evidence that you're at a threshold point. It's direct contact, a conversation between you and the cosmos. The malleability of your personal timeline is at its peak during this window. The decisions you make, and more importantly, the state of being you choose to stabilize now, will have a disproportionately large impact on your future. What you choose and energetically anchor during this period defines not only the next few months, but potentially the next decades of your life. It's a time of immense power, where a small adjustment in your frequency can drastically alter your trajectory, shifting you from a cycle of repetition to a completely new timeline. The window is open. The universe is watching you, waiting to see what you will do with this opportunity. You can use the instability to break free from the old shackles of your personal history and take a quantum leap into a new reality. Or you can cling to what is familiar, succumb to fear and uncertainty, and end up repeating the same cycle of pain and frustration once again, perhaps with even greater intensity. The choice is yours, and it is being made in every moment, with every thought and every feeling you allow within yourself. What determines whether you will leap or repeat is not willpower or effort. The key to successfully navigating a threshold point and achieving the quantum leap lies in understanding and applying a fundamental law of energetic physics. A law that operates in a completely counterintuitive way for the human mind, but which is the driving force behind all creation and reorganization of reality. It is a law that not only attracts, but also ruthlessly clears its path. The law that clears your path. Most people believe that the law of resonance only works in one direction, attracting what you desire. But that's only half the equation. The more advanced principle, which the Arcturians apply in their reality engineering, is what can be called the law of inverted resonance. This law states that as your frequency becomes more stable and coherent, your energy field not only attracts what is compatible with it, but also actively repels everything that is not. It's a purifying force, an automatic cleansing of your reality. That's precisely why, when you begin to change internally, your external life can seem chaotic. Long-term relationships end abruptly. Friends drift away without explanation. The job that seemed secure suddenly becomes unbearable or simply disappears. These are not losses or punishments. It's the law of reversed resonance in action. It's an energetic calibration. Your new, higher, and more coherent frequency creates a field that can no longer sustain the lower, dissonant vibrations of your past. They are naturally ejected from your reality. Think of your energy field as a force field. When it's weak and incoherent, it allows all kinds of influences and energies to enter. But when it becomes strong, stable, and unified, it creates a vibrational perimeter. Anything vibrating at a very different frequency simply cannot penetrate that field. In fact, it's pushed away. The pain you feel when you lose people or situations isn't from the loss itself, but from your resistance to this recalibration. The pain of loss is, in fact, the sound of your reality realigning with your new self. The quantum field is literally clearing the stage for the version of you that already possesses what you seek. It is removing distractions, obstacles, and vibrational anchors that kept you trapped in the old pattern. Every person who leaves, every situation that crumbles, is creating a vacuum. And nature does not tolerate a vacuum. This empty space will inevitably be filled by people and situations that are in perfect harmony with your new and coherent energetic signature. It's an upgrading process that can be uncomfortable, but it's absolutely necessary. Understanding this changes everything. You stop seeing the end of a relationship as a failure and start seeing it as a vibrational success. You stop lamenting the loss of a job and begin to celebrate the space that has opened up for your true calling. You exchange the victim mentality for the creator mentality, understanding that the universe is not acting against you but in your favor, responding with mathematical precision to your inner transformation. You trust the process even when you don't understand it with your logical mind. But for this law to function fully, its signal needs to be clear. The universe needs to know which frequency to read. And how do the Arcturians, or the quantum field itself, read this frequency? They don't understand your words, your thoughts, or your stated intentions. They read a much older and more fundamental language, a language that is at the base of all creation. The answer is not in your mind, but in the very structure of your energy. The most profound revelation of Thoth, the scribe of the gods, was not written in words, but in forms. He taught that the purest and most primordial language of the universe is neither spoken nor thought, but geometric. The Arcturians, being masters of this cosmic physics, do not read your confused thoughts or your conflicting emotions. They read the structure of your energy field through patterns of light, sound, and form. They read the cosmic geometry of your vibrational signature, the architecture of your soul manifested as energy. When your energy is fragmented by doubt, fear, and internal contradiction, your electromagnetic field is chaotic, shapeless, like radio static. But when you reach a state of coherence, when your mind, emotion, and body align in an authentic truth, something miraculous happens. Your energy field spontaneously organizes itself into perfect, crystalline, geometric patterns. It transforms into a living vibrational mandala, a structure of light and sound of stunning beauty and symmetry. It is this perfect structure that they detect as a clear and unmistakable signal. Therefore, the practice of stabilizing your frequency is not an abstract mental exercise. It is a concrete act of sacred architecture. You are literally rebuilding your inner temple, your energy field, so that it reflects the order, harmony, and perfection of the cosmos. Every time you choose authenticity over pretense, every time you choose presence over distraction, you are adding another piece to this crystalline structure, making your signal stronger, clearer, and more beautiful. You become a living work of art. And there is a specific part of your physical biology that plays a crucial role in this process. A small gland in the center of your brain, known to the ancients as the Eye of Horus or the Eye of Thoth, and to science as the pineal gland. This gland is not merely an evolutionary remnant, it acts as the primary transducer, the biological antenna that converts your coherent intention and unified state of being into a geometric signal readable by the quantum field and, consequently, by the Arcturian network. It transforms the non-physical energy of consciousness into a geometric transmission. When the pineal gland is activated by its internal coherence, it begins to generate electromagnetic fields that structure the energy around it. It is the focal point of its sacred architecture. This is why all the great spiritual traditions, in one way or another, have focused on activating this energy center. They knew that this was the portal through which a human being could begin to communicate directly with the universe, not through words, but through the universal language of geometry and light. The conscious activation of this antenna, through the maintenance of a coherent and authentic state of being, is what prepares the ground for the most anticipated event in the journey of an awakening being. It's not just about being noticed, it's about initiating a new phase of interaction with the cosmos. The activation of this antenna through its stabilized frequency provokes a phenomenon that many seek but few understand. An event that not only changes your reality but also alters your own perception of time. The event that compresses time. What happens when your geometric signal becomes perfectly clear and its frequency remains stable long enough? The result is what many call a quantum leap. But this event isn't like a dramatic explosion or a sudden flash of light. It's something much more subtle and, at the same time, infinitely more powerful. The quantum leap is the inevitable result of a coherent frequency that is sustained, and its most remarkable effect is not just attracting what you desire, but radically compressing the time it takes for it to manifest. Energy coherence doesn't just attract, it bends the fabric of space-time. By maintaining a stable, authentic, and unified state of being, you essentially collapse all the intermediate timelines, full of obstacles, detours, and delays, that would normally take years or decades to traverse. What was once a distant goal, a dream for a far-off future, suddenly becomes a present possibility, an immediate reality. The path between where you are and where you want to be ceases to be a long road and becomes a single step. This is the true power of Arcturian observation. By focusing their attention on your coherence, they act as a cosmic magnifying glass. They amplify the feedback that the quantum field sends you, exponentially accelerating the entire manifestation process. Their attention to your stabilized geometric field adds energy to your system, making the collapse of timelines even faster and more efficient. This is why, once you are noticed, things start happening at a speed that may seem frightening to the logical mind. The great secret, the key that unlocks this power, has never been willpower, positive thinking, or strenuous effort. It has always been the stability of your frequency. You don't manifest what you intensely desire in a moment of inspiration. You manifest what you become in a stable and consistent way. The universe doesn't respond to your emotional peaks, but to your average vibrational signature, to your predominant state of being. You manifest from what you stabilize, not from what you desire. You have crossed the threshold, your signal is visible, your frequency is online, and your internal geometry is becoming crystalline. You are no longer an unconscious passenger. You have awakened to the fact that you are a transmitter of reality. The speed at which your life is changing is proof of this. What were once merely abstract spiritual concepts are now your lived experience. The power is in your hands, and the universe is responding to every nuance of your vibration with impressive precision and speed. Now, with this power in your hands and the cosmos' attention focused on you, you face the most important decision of your life. It's not a decision about what to do, which path to follow, or which goal to achieve. It's a much more fundamental decision, a choice about your own essence, which will define not only your immediate future, but your entire evolutionary trajectory from this point on. And this choice will determine whether this new reality solidifies or dissolves. You have reached the point of no return. The threshold has been crossed. Your frequency is active in the cosmic network, and your signal is as clear as a star on a cloudless night. Your journey as a sleeping being has ended. From this very moment, you are no longer a passive spectator, watching life unfold before you. You have become a conscious creator, an active participant in the dance of reality. What you choose to stabilize within yourself from now on will be met with immediate, direct, and powerful quantum feedback. The game of being human is over. The work of being a god has begun. Arcturian observation doesn't cease now that you've been noticed. On the contrary, it transforms. What was passive observation becomes a silent partnership. They won't interfere. They won't give you instructions, but their attention will continue to amplify your frequency. They become witnesses to your creative process, sustaining an energy field that accelerates the consequences of your vibrational choices. You are no longer alone on this journey. You have the silent support of an intelligence that understands the laws of creation on a level we can scarcely imagine. The ultimate choice, the decision presented to you at every moment, is not about what to do, what career to pursue, or where to live. These are secondary decisions. The primary choice is about where to remain. In what state of being will you choose to anchor your consciousness? Remaining in the field means making the conscious and continuous decision to maintain coherence, authenticity, and stability, no matter what happens in the outside world. It means trusting that reality bends to your frequency and not the other way around. Staying in the field is an act of mastery. It's knowing that even when fear arises, you are not fear. Even when doubt appears, you are not doubt. You are the silent presence that observes all of this without identifying with it. It's the practice of returning again and again to your center of peace, to your unified state of being, knowing that this is the only point of real power you possess. It is from this place of inner stability that you command the forces of the universe. If you've made it this far, it's because your signal is no longer noise, it's a clear transmission. Leave the phrase "I am the creator of my reality" in the comments so I know you understood the message and are ready for the next step. Your presence until the end of this video is already a huge help to the channel, and I am very grateful for that. If you feel in your heart the calling to contribute more directly and help me spread more content like this, there is a link in the first pinned comment where you can support our work. Every contribution, no matter the amount, is extremely important to me and to the growth of the channel, allowing this message to reach more people who are awakening. And if you can't contribute, just sharing this video with someone who needs to hear this is already a powerful help. But don't leave yet, your journey doesn't end here. I've prepared a special video to delve deeper into everything we've discussed and guide you in applying this knowledge in practice. Click on the video that's appearing on your screen now and let's meet there.